Hey folks, Sir Charles Carey here with another live broadcast and another edition of Desktop Discussions. Now, I'm getting all these notifications. Look, if you can tell me what, how would I say it, what stream I'm using, I would like to send you a copy of my latest book. And the thing is, you've got about, I'll say another 2 or 3 minutes because this is a test. And why it's a test is because I've never used this platform like this before. I've been on this platform, but I've never personally used this platform. So today's topic is, what does it take to be you? And I'm giving just maybe 2 minutes is not fair. 5 minutes. Okay, let me give you 5 minutes. So let me give you an exact time. Let's see. It's 2:09. How about by 2:15? If you can let me know what platform I'm using, I'm going to send you a copy of my latest book or one of my latest books. And of course, no cost to you, no shipping and handling, no tax, no nothing, just a free copy. Just make sure you know that I know who you are, and I will be watching the clock. But this is my first. I'm using a new streaming platform. It's my first time, and I'm a little bit comfortable. I got it all set up, but I'm ready to go. So, what does it take to be you? And when I say what does it take to be you, I'm getting pings left and right. I've got so many things going on, folks, and no disrespect intended, but it's better to be needed and to be active than to be stagnant, not needed, inactive, and just a part of the background. So I meant to see that light. Can you see that light? Right, right, bam, right where? Right there. I meant to turn that light out. I wonder if I can turn that light out and not lose your attention. But let me do this anyway. What does it take to be you? There's a few elements that you're going to need. And to be quite frank, there's more than a few, but I just want to highlight a couple. And the reason why I'm highlighting a couple is because I truly believe that we all grow at different rates, different paces, and it's up to us to really take action when action needs to be taken. And one of the first things I want to tell you is that you're going to have to be honest. Honesty is essential. And you may want to know, why am I talking about this? It took me a long time to be the person that I've become as a professional speaker, as an author, all those things, right? It took me a while before that happened. In fact, I didn't even want to be an author. It wasn't in my wheelhouse. It wasn't in the back of my mind. It wasn't anything that I ever thought about. So to become an author was like, wow, okay, that's a good thing, especially when I saw the benefits that it brought to me. The fact that I was able to help people that had a different learning style, the fact that I was able to do things in a way I really just didn't know. I didn't know I could do those things that way. I didn't know I could teach that way. I can empower or encourage people by using books. Now, of course, it makes sense. It just wasn't what I planned on doing. I wanted to be a singer many, many moons ago. And when I decided to speak, that was it. It wasn't about writing a book or doing anything like that. But I learned since then how it can be beneficial to my career as a speaker. And how did I learn that? Was through mentorship, through coaching. So, number one, you want to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. What does it take to be you? Write that down. Honesty. If you're not honest with yourself, then you're always going to be living your life, or you're always going to be living under the I guess the imagination or the expectation of what others have placed on you. And that could be family members, and it could be friends. Even though they may have good intentions, it really won't be the true you. Number two, you're going to need to be confident. See, there's a difference between confidence and cockiness. Don't get them twisted. Don't get them mixed up. Excuse me. I think that having confidence in honesty is a really, really big part of the whole mechanism. And as that stated, in the top of the program, there are many things that you need to be you, but core things, the core things, your honesty and your confidence is going to make a big difference, because if you're honest with yourself, you know what it is that you want or where it is that you um, don't want to be. And if you're confident, that means you're willing to take a walk out into life and discover things, to find out things, to learn things. And then when it's time to execute, if you're confident, you should be able to do that. Now, here's the key: confidence and honesty, you're still always going to be learning. And I hope you're always going to be growing also. So that's very, very important. In addition, I should say to that, you're going to need a plan. Now, having a plan when you really are coming out of nowhere with this idea about, hey, I want to be my real self, I want to be my authentic self. Well, who you really are supposed to be, it can come to you in a number of ways. You can have a dream about it. You can realize that you're good at a skill, talent, or an ability. There's different ways that we realize, who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. Whatever way you find out or you identify with the real you, the internal you need to have a plan. Plan for what, Charles? You need to have a plan on how you're going to share that with the world. How is it that you're going to either add value, or I need some water, folks. I got to jump off the camera real quick. My bottle of water's in the side. How are you going to add value or introduce the true you to the world? And I'm not just talking about social media. I'm not just talking about, willy nilly, but professionally, socially, recreationally, obviously personally, because social and recreational, they're all in that same ball of wax. How are people going to meet you on the street, at a function, on your job, and know who the real you is? You have to show up being that authentic version of yourself, or you should show up being that authentic version of yourself. Now, I can tell you stories about how I did it and how I became the person I became, but the truth of the matter is, you're not me and I'm not you. Your authentic self, you may have motives that have never been heard of. You may have motives that are so heartwarming. So whatever is authentic to you, it's really important that you know what that is, and that you're honestly, comfortable in that space. Let me get my water. Excuse me. You want to be honest in that space. So as you figure all this out, it is a process. And everyone's process is different. It's different with what it consists of, and it's different with the things the time frame that it takes to bring it all together. And I can't tell you, without speaking with you, I cannot tell you what your time frame and what your components or the nuances of you realizing that. I can't tell you that without actually speaking to you. But if you take pen and paper, that's going to be a big asset with how you come to that conclusion. I call it mind mapping. It's nothing new. I didn't create it, but mind mapping is basically putting all your ideas out there and looking at the things that make sense, looking at the things that correlate together, looking at the different things that you can identify with. So if you mind map, that's a good step. And you don't have to do it with anyone, although you could, but consider mind mapping so that you can get an idea of what it is that you really want to do. What's your thing? What's your, as they say today, what's your jam, right? What's your jam? What's the thing that got you turned on? What's that thing that gets you so excited? Whatever it is, you need to figure that out. And once you figure it out, then you can begin to feel comfortable or get comfortable introducing it to the world. I'm talking again, professionally, socially, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you also have to be willing. You see, people say things like, knowledge is power. Yeah, but it's not really power unless you're willing to apply it. So it's the same thing here with willingness. Are you willing in your confidence, in your honesty, and with your plan to move forward, to be that voice, to be that person? Maybe you will be the voice for the voiceless in a particular area. Maybe you will be the one that, explains things in ways that other people just cannot explain them in a particular area, maybe even in an era. But the point still remains, are you willing? Are you willing to move forward? Are you willing to forge forward for the sake of the true inner you? You see, there's a lot that goes with that. And maybe on my next broadcast, I'll be able to share with you what that looks like, what that consists of. But for step one, what does it take to be you? And please share your thoughts, share your comments. I love to hear, how you've taken this broadcast. And if you were a person that responded, let me see, this comments, let's see. Good afternoon, Shantae. If you were a person that responded, I would love to be able to get that copy of the book to you so that you can move forward in a way that's important to you. All right. And you can get some information that I think will help you develop your honesty level, your confidence level, creating a plan, and definitely becoming willing. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to jump off. I got a lot of things going on. This evening, I've got a broadcast with the Smart Video Girl. I've got events coming up left and right. You will hear about them on social media, in my newsletter, and on other platforms. But I just look forward to sharing these insights and nuances with you, because you got to realize one thing. Once you do everything and get everything the way you want it, it's no longer about you. It's about sharing those things with those who need what you have already achieved. Everyone will not be able to do what you've done in the way you've done it and on the level that you have done it. So you're going to find out those tips and professional skill sets and all that good stuff, things you're getting paid for, things you may not be getting paid for. It's really about sharing it with other people that can benefit from it. So with that being said, once again, you got to radiate the brain and change the game. And I'll see you on the next broadcast.